I I don't know how many days it's been. Friday, it'll be 3 weeks. Today's Tuesday. I don't want to keep track of days like that. I'm I find myself constantly eulogizing my son Forrest, um, saying things that a person is supposed to say, and then also some of the things that are less comfortable that need to be said. It really sucks having to feel that his death was so meaningless. And his life was so full of meaning. He loved life. But he was a drug addict, because only a drug addict would go to the lengths that he went to procure, use, and he used probably for a month or two or three. I don't know. We know some things, and it's like there's two people. There's Forrest, and then there's Forrest being overtaken by active addiction. And I only say active addiction because maybe you're just addicted all the time, and I always did sort of feel with him that there was an open door. Like he never said never, I will never do that again. I just don't remember him ever saying it. That he led me to feel that way, I think, through our conversations. Like we always got to some reassurance that life was way better without being a heroin addict or an active heroin addict. And I know the strides, the good stuff that he did, the great stuff that he did. He was my inspiration. I looked at him and sorry. When I talked to him or I looked at him, I saw how he was building his body and his mind, and we had such awesome times and deep conversations. Like the minutia of life, the art of life, how to enjoy things without abusing them, how to balance. How to not bullshit yourself. We talked about that a lot because it's easy to do. It's easy to think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're as good as you think you are, or that's easy. What's hard is when you lay it out there and you can then tell. And he became realistic about a lot of things, about his level of commitment, as it played out in terms of what he wanted to do with himself. He was very self-aware on very subtle levels. And that's why this just sucks so much, because he must have really worked hard to hide it from everybody. his friends, his roommates, his people at his gym, the people he worked for were also like very connected to him. His people at his school, his professors, his teachers. Nobody but Forrest had a history, and he obviously didn't close the door. He left it open, like, I'll try it again someday. In fact, we discussed when he was here visiting me, I said, you know, you're going to maybe have serious battles with this again in your life, like when you're alone, or let's say when you live up here, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, when you're in your 50s. You know, what's to say that you're not going to like really have a desire to do this again? Man, he looked me right in the eyes, right in my face, and acknowledged that. And he was using. And I feel really shitty because I thought we had more of an understanding of how absolutely evil and dead end I considered heroin use. It wasn't something we didn't speak of. It wasn't something that he didn't agree to or lead me to believe, that he thoroughly agreed with that. And he still went through all the actions and manipulations. And that sucks. And I can't talk to him about it. But I know there's like, you know, thousands of other versions of Forrest out there bullshitting themselves, harming their families and their communities and themselves, and you won't even be around to suffer like the rest of us. And that just is so profoundly wrong. So maybe the only way to avoid this kind of story in your life is not to do the stuff. Try it ever. Once you do it, I don't know. Maybe you're just on the road, and that's it. You know, like, I hope that that's not true, but like, I wouldn't doubt it. But this is havoc. This is wreckage. This is ripping a person who was an amazing person, a beautiful person, a person who loved people and helped people, who took themselves out of the world. It is not an honorable way to die.